Okay. So anyone having some specific doubt in this session, then can ask. Okay. Uh, all of you are able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we will be covering the week five of the Java Computing using Python. This is the live interactive session. I am Vikas. I'll be taking the class. Yeah. So these are basic details. Mostly our schedule is Tuesday 6 to 8 p.m. This time only we are having the class on Saturday 6 to 8, right? And the meet link remains the same. And the YouTube channel is where you can access the recorded lectures. This is my email, and in case you need to contact, anyway, I will be putting all these slides in the live sessions that you can find from the dashboard. Okay. So before going further, as some of you have asked in the previous class, that if I could spare some time and give some common methods using strings, so I will be doing that. But before that, if you have got some questions, you are free to ask. Anyone? I think today, due to change in time, there are less students, right?
Yes, sir.
See it for 2 3 minutes if someone have question. Otherwise, we will be starting the session.
No, sir, I didn't get time to practice, sir. Actually, sir, I have college till Saturday, so, sir, I
Yeah.
just came home some time ago and I couldn't practice, sir.
Okay. Okay. Not an issue. Okay. So before diving into problems of this week, as most of you must have seen that strings play an important role in this whole this thing. What you say? This Python, when we are doing the coding, mostly since our input is a string, we have to deal with the string, and in fact, string is something that we deal with lot of a lot of times. And Python being a very versatile language, it has something called eval. Have I talked about eval earlier?
No, sir.
No. Oh,
Sir, I saw
so
it being used somewhere, but I don't know what it is.
yeah, eval is something that directly takes an expression. Like if you put eval and then input and then in brackets, something like this. And then if you run it, and when input is prompted, if you give something like say 5 plus 2 minus 3 multiplied by 4. So what it will do is that it will take this, since it will be taken as a string, and then instead of converting individually to integer or float or whatever we do generally, what it will do is that directly it will take it as an expression and evaluate it. This is a very good thing if you are taking expressions from the user, not very complex expressions, but simple expressions, which include the BADMAS. Like if you must have learned about BODMAS and BADMAS, bracket, exponential, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. If these are involved, directly you can take for exponential, we take double star, that is exponential or power. Okay. So this also is there. So you see, using strings, we have a lot of functions, and those are used widely. So how to deal with this? Okay. uh, are you people able to get me? Like, if you have any confusion, please feel free to ask me and unmute yourself and ask. I cannot see the messages. I'll be just able to uh, hear you. Okay. So, so what I will do is that I will uh, try. So what I will do is that I will try to cover some of the string methods which we can use. So starting with lower and upper. Uh, I think you might have got the idea that if we use lower and upper, these are used to make the case lower or upper. Okay. So if you have a string s equals to something, if you use s dot lower, it will return the lowercase version of the strings. Let's try that. Okay. Mhm. Yeah. So is are both the sides of the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Perfectly.
Sir, is this a
Okay.
new software, sir?
No, this is Jupyter only, like Google Colab. But what I have done is that I was searching for some software. I found this that I can run Jupyter on my iPad natively, so I don't have to connect like every time. Last time I was seeing that there was runtime error and these things. So to tackle that, what I did is that I installed the Python on my iPad itself. So instead of like using the Google Colab, since we were shifting the applications, I was having this issue. So I installed this. So what I am doing is that I am taking s equals to hello class. Okay. So this is something which is a string. Okay. We can even break it, but not an issue. I will just try. So you see what is being done is that when we put print s dot lower, what it will do is that it will take all the a whole string and convert it to lowercase. H was capital earlier, C was capital earlier, but now it is both of them are small. Okay, this is quite handy. In case what happens is that you might have seen that when we are taking some input from the user, say, do you want to continue? Okay, some someone can write yes, someone can write why yes, someone can even try y and then y small and then all capitals. There can be many iterations, and you cannot make a if condition with so many conditions. You can, but that will be cumbersome job. Okay, then you will have to put yes or yes, like all of these conditions. So to tackle such things, this is a very good way to either convert whatever the input is coming, convert it to lower or uppercase. Clear? Okay. So similarly is
Yes.
the uppercase. Okay. When we are going with upper, it will make all the things upper. Okay. Like if I run the same thing, and remember, when we are putting s dot lower, it is not converting s. If I print s after this, uh, suppose let's just, let's not, okay. Mm, okay. Okay. So if I print s, I hope it is still the same. So using this is not converting. So if we have to convert it, let's run this and then use. You see, s dot lower prints this hello class in small letters. But if I print s, it is still the same. H capital, C capital. So the real content is not changing. So if you have to change it, either you store it in a new variable or you replace it. Like you can write s equals to s dot lower, then it will work. And see that after the lower in the brackets we are putting nothing. Okay, it will remain empty, and the actual variable is not moving. It is just the output that will change. Okay, for that time only. So you have to understand this, that the real thing is not changing. Okay. Then is capitalize. So if we use capitalize, it will capitalize only the first letter. And this is something needed when we are writing sentences. Okay. So if I run this, you see H remains capital, and all others like class was also C was also capital earlier, but now it is capital. Then sometimes you need to capitalize each and every like first letter of each and every sentence word. In that case, we do title. Actually, it was already, but let me rephrase it something like you people are getting it. If you have any doubt, queries, please ask. Don't be hesitant. Okay.
Sir, in dot capitalize functions, only the first letter of the first word is being capitalized, or the first letter of every word will be capitalized.
Uh, in capitalize, the first letter of the first word is capitalized.
Okay,
In
sir.
case, in case of this title, all the first letters of all the words will be capitalized. Ja, computing, let's
Yes,
run
sir.
it. Now you see, in this case, I had written everything small. What is being done is that now it will convert J, O, and C. All the first letters of all the words are being capitalized. Okay. Using this, try making something. This is an exercise I'm giving for your sake. It's not compulsory, but something that you can try. Make a program that asks for your first name. Okay. If the first name is the same as your own, then program should print a welcome message. That means you will fit that your name inside it, and you can prompt it something like a login screen or something, that until and unless your correct name is entered in any configuration, whether it is uppercase, lowercase, whatever combination someone enters, only when your name is there, when your name is entered, then it should display a welcome message. Otherwise, it should say politely that this is wrong, yes, please repeat, and keep asking this until you enter the correct name. So, can anyone suggest what things you will use to do this?
Sir, at first we will use the at first sir, we will accept a name from the user as a
Hmm.
string, and then sir we will use either the upper or the lower function to convert all the letters into a specific case. And then
Yeah.
sir we are going to use the relational equal to operator to check whether the names are matching or not. And
Hmm.
then if the names match, then we will print welcome. Otherwise, we will say that this is not your machine. Sorry.
Yeah. So, when we are saying this, how will we ensure that it keeps going on? What thing can we use to keep it going on?
So while true can be
While
one
true,
condition.
yes,
Yes, sir.
while true can be one condition, and someone else can reply that what will we do when it is correct? What should be the next thing? Yes, Nehal.
We
Nehal,
will
are you
break
present?
out of the loop.
Yes. So we will use the break function. Very good. Break. Okay. So you see, when we try to make things, make a code, you will understand that a lot of previous concepts have to be kept in mind. Okay. All of this will be used. Okay. Now comes the strip function, which is very important and very useful for us. Why? Because it returns a copy of the string with both leading and trailing characters removed. This is why A has come. Okay, by mistake, this indentation is coming here. Okay, there's it has got all numbered. Okay, it was supposed to be like. So what is being done here is that many times you might have seen that when someone enters name, or even you you enter your name, one name or anything, once you complete that word, after that you will put a space. Okay, but when comparing, like suppose someone is entering Saroj. Okay, we want to check for Saroj, like in the previous program. You did it right, that a capital letter, small letter, everything you did. But what if there is a habit? This is a very common habit of people, that after writing their name or the word, they will put a space, that which is completed, and then put anything. Or some people even put a space at the start and end, and still it is correct. It is your name only, but your program will not read it because it considers the space as a character. So string dot strip. String means the name of the string, like S or name or whatever is there. This is used to strip either the leading spaces around it, okay, at the beginning and the end, or if you specify what has to be removed, it will remove that. Okay, so
Here,
yes,
can I ask?
yes, yes,
Here,
yes, please.
before Deepika, I think
Yeah,
space has to be removed. So I should
yes,
give the name dot strip a space. Is it
yes.
right?
No,
Mm,
when you have just to remove the space, you don't need to give anything. You just write name dot strip and brackets. By
okay.
default, like we have talked it earlier also, there are some attributes that has been predefined. By default, it is a space in quotes. But when you have to specify something else, then you will have to.
Here I have a question. See,
Yeah.
actually, when you are doing some in assignment now,
Hmm.
joy of computing for encrypting and decrypting. So I
Yes.
am done for joy of computing, but in between the space, I am getting some other word,
Hmm.
how some other letter. How to remove that letter?
Like after
After
joy.
joy, it should not print anything.
Uh,
After that, it should print only for O, the equivalent encrypted word, like that.
okay. Okay.
So,
For that, the next method, what I will tell, that
okay.
helps.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
After step split, we will cover.
Yeah.
That will help you.
Okay.
Okay. That you can split. What happens is that in between we cannot do, but we can split using that spaces and this thing, and then we can combine them later on if
In
needed.
like integer split, right?
Uh, String can also be split.
Okay.
We will see in the next one. Okay. So if no argument is provided, all the white spaces are removed from the string. Trailing, not in between. Okay. So like if there is a name with Deepika, someone enters Deepika or Dimpa or whatever. Okay. And there are spaces at the beginning and at the end. Okay. To remove it, we can use name dot strip. Okay. This will remove the spaces. Like, let's say, yeah. Okay. I have not put any of it. Yeah. So we are taking in this, just I am assigning the variable name. And then when I am putting strip, actually, you see there, the spaces are removed from here. It is just Deepika without the spaces. Earlier, when we were entering at, in this code, it is having one space. But what if I want to remove A from it? You see, in this case, uh, it is it was supposed to remove A, but it is not removing. Why? Because A is not at the last. It is preceded by spaces. Okay. So what if I do something like this? So this strip has this problem that it can remove things from the uh, sides only. Like from the trailing ends only. Okay. Still, it is not removing. But if I make it like this, it is not run. Yeah. You see, so this have one disadvantage. Are you able to see? Is it refreshed in the screen or hello? Are the changes visible on the screen? Yeah, I think so.
Yes, sir. DIMP, sir.
Yeah. So this is a problem vector. Okay. So how to tackle this? There is another way you can put 2, 3 arguments also. Like we can even put space. Let the space be there. Let's put okay. Okay. Yeah, we can. We don't need to give it like this. Yeah. If I put the space and a, okay. Now you see, even though a was followed by a space, it is removed. What it does is that in this case, since we are giving uh, two characters, it will remove both characters from both the ends. From dimper, it is removing the trailing and last spaces as well as a. So we can specify different things, like different combination also. Like we want to remove a space as well as say I. So if we do it like this, it is removing space, but it is not removing I. Why? Because I is not at the ends. So we have to say that we have to remove things from the sides, front end or the back end. Then we can use this strip. It is like removing things from the sides, not from the center. We cannot remove. So we can go serially. If we put something like, if instead of this, I put D, it will work because D is at the side. Okay. And space are being removed. And if I remove the space, in fact, that will also stop working because D is not at sides if the space is not removed. So we have to take care of all these things. Are you people getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes.
this is something very useful, and especially when we are taking inputs from the user. And these methods actually someone asked, I think Sakshar asked in the previous class to cover these string methods because uh,
Yes, sir.
a lot of places we are using this. So I went with it. So these are something, there are a lot of things, but most common things which are used, I am covering here. Okay. And these are some things which are generally used when taking inputs from the user because users are not very apt in going, like you must have seen, it is very irritating if you keep asking different inputs from the user. That instead of that, if you ask that, please enter 10 names, okay, and they do it either separated by spaces or comma, they will be happy to do that instead of typing a first name, then entering, then typing another name, then entering this thing. And you cannot, while doing coding, we must take care that you must not irritate the user. That can be a good program, but it is not a good interface if you are irritating the user, like you are putting too many restrictions to the user. Suppose you are saying that please put it exactly without any spaces and a uh, lot of instructions you are giving. That is not considered a good interface when you are coding or making a software or something like that. So it is always implied that it is best to take care of such nuisances at your end instead of uh, forcing the user to avoid that, because even if you force them, they will not do it. Okay, so a good code will be something that handles it on its own. Okay, so split I do not- okay, yeah, split it. There are some other important things, like sometimes we need to check whether uh, something starts with a specified letter or not, a string, or ends with a specified letter or not. So what I have done is that I have taken Ajay Devgan, okay, and let's check whether his name starts with A, ends with N or V, okay. It will give binary inputs, true and false, or 1 and 0 if we say, okay. So what I am doing is that I am running one code at a time, one line at a time, so that it is easy to understand, okay. So first we are assigning Ajay Devgan to the variable name, and then we are checking whether the name starts with A or not, okay. And it says the output will be true and false, and not in terms of yes, no, or something. If you have to do that, you will have to put that accordingly, okay. Then ends with, for both of this, so both of this, it is saying true. But what if we put something else, like V? It is showing false. There is one more thing, that if we put it like, let's say N only, but capital, and it will say false. So this is case sensitive. So it starts with and ends with. These are, you, we must remember, these are case sensitive. In fact, most of the commands in Python are case sensitive. So uh, we cannot have capital letter. We cannot put capital letter and then we can say that check for capital response. So in this case, our capitalize or lower, upper, these will work like that. We can use to do that. Okay. Then comes replace. Sometimes we need to replace. Okay. Uh, say some something is being uh, misspelled or something like that. Okay? So we can use string dot replace, and for that we will have three arguments, and the third argument generally, like third argument is optional. Okay, it is not necessary, but it have its function. I will tell. Old is the term that we have to remove, and the new is the one that we have to put. Okay, and the count is, yes. Sakshi, you have some question?
Yes, sir. I had a question, sir. Is this
Yeah,
function case sensitive, sir?
yeah, all of it.
Case sensitive, right, sir? Okay, sir.
Yeah. So, and the third one is uh, the count. How many of them have to be removed? So, going from the first, it will remove till that many occurrences only. Like if we put something like name equals to Madhuri, 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 we are putting 4 times. Okay? And we want Madhuri to be replaced with Mandavi. Okay. So if we put it like this, what will be the output?
Sir, Mandavi, 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 Mandavi.
Yeah. So let's say we are doing this, and then all of it is being replaced. But what if we want only, okay, I have put three Madhavi only. Okay, so I will put Mandavi. Okay, this is fine. But yeah, I have put two. Okay, what if I want only the two occurrences, the first two occurrence to be removed, not all to be replaced. Okay, so let me run it again so that it becomes Madhuri again. Okay, now if I am running it, you see the first two Madhuri is being replaced with Kakoti, but the third one is not being replaced. So this count is optional. If you give it, it will go till that value only. After that, this thing will not work. Okay, clear? Then comes a very important and versatile thing called split. This is used a lot, and you must have seen that in one of the previous program, when I was taking an input from the user, I was using this split. Okay, I was using an inline code to split it, strip it, and then convert each and every value to an integer. Right. So split is something that can split the input, the string into different list. It will give out a list of this. Okay, first is the separator. So we have to take care of separator. How many, not how many, like what will be the separation? Like in some case it can be a comma, but in general by default it is taken as a space. Okay, so default value is a single space. Okay, not a double space. Remember, that is why we have to take care that sometimes we need to strip also. That some people put two spaces, and some people even after comma put one space. So if you are taking by comma, then also you have to take care that is this. If it is not a number, then you have to remove this spaces. If it is a number, automatically integer and these things will be converted, not an issue. Okay, so and max split is a number. You can even specify a number that how many maximum number of parts it can go. Okay, like let's try this. NPTEL, NPTEL, Python, JAWS. Okay, so what I am trying is that I'm splitting it by dot. Here dots are being linked. If I am not specifying, so you see NPTEL and but the second NPTEL, if you see, there is space at the beginning. Python, before that also space is being left. JOC also, and space is left. And at the end, after JOC, there is one more. After, since there is a stop, and then nothing is entered in a null, or uh, a null is also generated in this. Okay.
Sir, an empty element. Oh,
Yes,
so
empty
yes, sir, you are
element.
speaking about that only.
Yeah. So what if I would have done this using
Sir, if we use the trim function, then it would have been removed. So,
yeah,
sorry, strip function,
strip
sir.
function, not a trim.
Trim is in different language, sir.
Yes. Just a minute. Yeah. Okay. So you see, in this case, the stops, full stops are left. Okay. So we must understand like what kind of inputs here. You can say something like this politely that please enter numbers separated by a comma. Okay. But you cannot put many rules. Okay. So this is something that can be done, or full stops can be used as separators. Okay. So these are very common things that are used. Okay, or either you can do the traditional way, asking one by one the input, but many a times that actually is a cumbersome thing. Every time you have to press enter, you have to wait some time for the processing to be done. In this case, only once you press enter and all the processing is done. Okay. 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 Now what if we put two? Okay. So in this case, you see it is giving first to NPTEL. After that, Python JOC. This whole is being considered as a single array. Okay. So what it does is that it splits till the second occurrence of the dot. First occurrence occurred at NPTEL, like small NPTEL. The second occurrence occurred after the capital NPTEL. After that, whatever is there, that will be made as one element of the list. Okay. And if we put one, it will take the first element and rest will be left. So clear? Any doubts in this?
सर
Yes,
हेलो
yes. Yes, yes.
सर इसका हम यूज करके किसी नेम है उसके लेटर्स को सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं
Yes.
सर
But
इसमें
in
क्या
that
हम
case, you don't need split. What you need is that you can directly use a loop for like suppose you have name equals to Suraj. Okay. So if you want to take out each and every letter of this, you can simply say for character or ch in name. Sorry, it should be in name. Okay. And then you can take it like print ch or whatever operation you do. Okay, that works. Since I have already told you that we have this thing that actually is string is list of characters, or there is one even simpler way, so that you can say something like list and then in bracket you can put name. Okay, and you assign it to some variable like HR and something like that. Then you will get the list of characters. Clear? Got it, Suraj?
यस सर
Sir, I have a question.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. So in this function, sir, we did it like this. Sir, is it possible the other way around? Means, sir, I want to say that, so for example, I want NPTEL and NPTEL to stay together and JOC and Python to be split into two parts. So is that possible?
Negative index you can use.
Negative index. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now we come to string slicings, which we have string slices, which we have actually discussed earlier also. Just to remind you that actually when we are talking about indexes in Python, there are both positive as well as negative indexes. So we generally learn about this that starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, and it goes on. But if we see from the right hand of side, it is negative index, not 0, -1, since 0 is already used. So suppose if you want to take out O, you can directly write if you have something like name or something like is equal to hello, then if you write name and then square bracket, while we are putting slicing square bracket -1, it will just give O and nothing else. Okay. You can use it to reverse also. We have seen earlier, like -1 colon -1 will reverse the string. Okay. So this slices, just like we have seen in slices in case of list, slicing also works very well in case of strings. Okay, so what you can try is that these exercises I am just showing so that you can try on your own, okay, to practice. So you can print one first character, second character, and third character. Remove the start, keep end, okay, like double LO, or then you can try removing end and keeping start, like hello with. So what you can do is that if you don't have to specify anything, just leave it blank and put colon. Like if you want to start with the starting and go till like minus. Okay. So what it will do is that it will remove the last step. That is the end. Fine.
Yes,
And
sir.
okay. And print the third character from end. These things you can try. Okay. So we have completed strings. This was just an additional thing so that you are familiar with. Now let's come to dictionary, which was discussed in this week. Okay. So what is the correct syntax to get all the keys? Well, only the keys from a dictionary.
Last option, sir.
The keys. Okay. Anyone else?
Yes, sir. D.
D. Okay. One validation. Anyone else? Uh, please speak up. Why I want that you people speak is that so that actual interaction can happen. Once you are confident that you are speaking, you will be asking questions also. Otherwise, you will be hesitant in asking questions. Okay. So let's try uh, D dot keys. Okay. So no, let's try this. What I am doing is that I am defining D equals to A. There are different ways of defining this dictionary. Okay. So I am using this. And remember, here I am putting 20 as a number and 30 as a string. Okay. So I am putting, I want the key. What will be the key? A or 20? A will be key or 20 will be key?
Yes, sir.
A. A is key. Okay.
Right.
So let's say A is key and B is key. Okay. So we want A, B, something like this, right? And generally these things are given out as a list. So you see when we are putting D dot values, okay, it is giving the values. Okay. If we are putting items, what it does is that it gives us, okay, I am not good.
Sir, you should write B in the within quote.
B in quotes. Which one?
D dictionary. In the dictionary part, you should write B within quote.
Not
Is it
necessary.
right?
Yeah. It is. It should. Yeah, because it is not defined. Yes, correct.
I have another question.
Yes, please.
Sir, is there any function which is used to capitalize the last character of each word in a sentence?
I'm not saying something like that. What you can do if you want is that you can reverse and then capitalize, then reverse it again, something like that you can, because that is not the
Okay.
general thing that is done. So I think there is no function for that. Okay. So there are values, keys, then is key and keys. Okay. Okay. So let's write D dot keys. First, let's write key. And you see that key is actually not defined. Okay. we- After that, we have to put brackets also. Even then, it will show that key is not defined. So keys, if we write keys, it will show as different. So there are three attributes in dictionary that we can use to get different values from, not exactly values, I will say, different things out of a dictionary. Like if we have keys, it will just give us key, all the keys, and in a list, it will be a list. If we are using the function value, it will give us the values again in a list. In a list. But when we are using items, you see there is some change. In this case, what output it is giving? It is giving combination of two values in simple bracket, and the whole thing is in a list. Okay, so can anyone tell, do anyone have the idea that what are these?
Sir, it returns the pair of all value, all key and value
Yeah,
respectively.
so pair, it is fine.
Yes,
But
sir.
when we have talked till now is that we have talked something in which there is square bracket, when, when there is a curly bracket. But what is this single bracket thing?
Sir, a
Have you seen
tuple.
tuple? Very good. So, as Sneha has said, tuple. And this is something very important because you see these are given out as tuple means they cannot be changed. Tuple is such a data type that cannot be changed during the program. Okay. So, a list can be changed, but tuple cannot be changed. And tuple is generally used to store some values, not to be changed. It can be
So that
overridden.
means that tuple cannot be sorted as well.
Yes, nothing can be done. Almost nothing. Only you can rewrite it.
Sir, we have to convert the tuple into list, then we should sort
Yes,
it.
then we can do that. Yes, right.
But so how is
So
that done? The how is the conversion done? As
simply
Saroj
like
said.
list, and then in bracket you put the tuple. The tuple will be converted to list, and a list can be
Wow.
converted to a tuple also.
Like
Okay.
typecasting.
Yes, like typecasting. In fact, all these are data types only. List, set, what I generally call them is that compound data, compound data types, right? It is, I say, like, that is my terminology. I am just saying is that integer, float, and these things, I consider them as simple data types, and list, set, dictionary, tuple, these I consider as complex data types, or you can say composite data types, because here integer and float and other things can be used together. Okay, so these are combination of different types of data, and more than one data is stored here. Okay, so we have to remember there are three. One is uh, values, other is items, third one is key. Okay, so what is the syntax to create a dictionary? I think this is the simplest one. Okay, so which of the following is the correct syntax to create a dictionary? Anyone?
B,
The
sir.
second one.
B. Okay, anyone going with answer D?
Sir, I couldn't read, sir. I don't know, that's why.
Okay, you could. It is too small.
No, no, sir. Means I couldn't read, sir. Didn't get time to
Oh,
read.
okay, okay, okay. So as you know that when we are talking about a square bracket, that simply means it
List.
is a list. Okay, so this is removed. When we are saying simple bracket, actually it is a tuple.
Tuple.
Yeah. Okay. When we are saying curly brackets, then though it has not yet been covered, but then there are two things: dictionary as well as set.
Sets. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, but what has been decided is that for a dictionary, they directly use curly bracket, but set is not initialized with a curly bracket. Okay. For that, you have to write set and then bracket,
Yes.
the
Parentheses.
common. Yeah, the parent. Okay. And dictionary is not used, such big keywords are generally avoided. So it is dict. And you can see on the left hand side, it is written dict, not dictionary. Okay. Dict. So dictionary is not the correct one. Okay. So B is the correct one. Okay. Okay. Which of the following is correct about dictionaries? There can be multiple same keys. Every value must be unique. Every key must be unique. We cannot get every key from the dictionary. Which of the following is correct?
Every key must be unique.
Every key must be unique. Which option? C. Right? Anyone who thinks A, B, or D is correct?
Yes, sir. C is correct.
C is correct. Right? Because
He is the right
we
answer.
can, yeah, we cannot have multiple keys. If we try to enter multiple keys, what happens? Have anyone tried?
The existing value gets replaced.
Yes. The existing value will get replaced. So if in a dictionary, while creating a dictionary itself, if you are assigning the same keys 2 or 3 times, what will happen is that the last value for this key will remain. The previous values will not remain. Okay. Every value must be unique. That is not required, but every key must be unique. That is required. That is the basic definition of a dictionary. Like when you talk about dictionary, think about a real dictionary, that there can be multiple words which have same meaning. Okay. But same word is not listed 2 or 3 times in the dictionary. It is done only at one place. Okay. So this dictionary is also made on the concept of that, that it will have some
The
key.
dictionary concept is there.
Yes.
Yes.
So there key will be there and the value will be there. So it the same value can be assigned to 2, 3, or many keys, but key is unique. Okay. So C is our correct answer. And as we have already seen that yes, we can get a key from the dictionary. Okay, we can get every key from the dictionary. So this is wrong. Fine. Okay, I have written B. It was C, right? Just a minute.
Option A.
No, this one is every value must. No, this is wrong. Okay, I will correct it. This is wrong. While writing, I think that has got it. Yeah. So what will be the output of the following code? We have written D equals to A 20, B 30. Okay. Print D dot values. Okay. We have already seen that, right? On the left hand side, we have the first one. Okay. So what is the correct value? Correct answer 20 and 13 quotes. Right? Anyone who have
Yes.
confusion in this?
No.
Now? Okay. This also I think we have done. What is the what will this code do when we put items?
Sir, option C. will be right answer.
Option C. Yeah, because we already have seen that it will
It
give
should
us
return the all
two.
pairs values within
Yeah,
parentheses.
yeah, in tuples. Okay, these will be in tuples. So we have to take care that they are in tuples. And why tuples? Why specifically tuple is selected is that so that the position cannot be changed. The first position remains for the key, second position remains for the value, right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So now let's come to this question. What is this code doing? Import string with back equals to parenthesis. Name that string dot escalator for I in range 20. Here a value is given. Back's name I. Okay, equals to 0. Print back. So what is this doing?
Option B.
Option B. Create a dictionary with keys in range A to T and value 0. Okay. Anyone with some other idea? What if we wanted it to be values in uh, like this? If we wanted this option D, like for A, it should assign 1, for B, it should assign 2, for C, it should assign 3, something like that. If we wanted, what change can we do?
The 0 in line 7 should be replaced by I.
Very good. Very good, Sneh. Okay. So let's try this. So, and if we see all the values, all the keys are assigned the value 0. Sorry. Okay. And what if we do it I? In this case, it is not doing one. Sorry, I had written one, but actually, since we are starting, we are not specifying the starting point. It should be 0, right? So it starts from 0, goes till 1940. Okay. Any any doubt? Any confusion still here? What the following code mimics? Import string, import random. We are importing two libraries, string and random. Okay. And then again we are putting backs with curly brackets. Name equals to string escalator. Till here, very similar to the previous program. Here also the same thing. But after like can I have water break for 2-3 minutes? I'll just
Yes.
Sure, sir.
What a tune you are playing.
I think you can continue now.
Yes.
Yeah. So what will the following code do? Uh, what it is doing first is that it is importing string, importing random, then creating bags with curly brackets. That means it is a dictionary. Then name equals to string dot escalator. So we will have all the escalators. Okay. And we are assigning 0 to all the escalators from A till T. Then what we are doing is that for I in range 1000, key equals to random dot choice list bags dot keys. So from the list of bags dot keys, okay. So from all the keys, it is taking random. So what are the choices available for us? We have choices. Can anyone tell? What are the choices?
Choices are from the list of
Letters from A to T.
Yes. So we have letters from A to T. Okay. That means in total we have how many bags? We have 20 bags lettered A, B, T. Like we assume it as bags till T. Okay. Then what it is doing is that bags square bracket key. So that key value is entered. So whatever key is selected, and it is taking the key plus one. So it is increasing. And this is one being done 1000 times. So what happens if we do it like this? And we are considering these numbers, the keys, to be number marbles. So what will be the output?
Option C.
Option C. Distribute 1000 marbles randomly in every bag. Okay. And why not evenly? This one is correct. But why it is not done evenly, or what if you wanted it to be done evenly? Anyone? Let's try this.
Instead of that random function, we have to introduce another loop from
Or
0 to
simply,
19.
yeah, we can simply do like we can divide it and put the here itself in line 8, we can divide 10,000 by 1000 by 20, and we can put that item. That will work fine, right?
Yes,
We
sir.
don't need this loop, right? So
Yes, sir.
if we see here, 1000. If you add all of this, actually it will come 1000. And if we run it again, this is randomized. You see, every time it will give some different values, right? So C should be our correct answer. Okay. Write a code to choose rock, paper, or scissors correctly. Can anyone come up with what can be done here? Rock, paper, scissors code has started, right? Can anyone? What should be done? Like we want that the user enters rock, paper, or scissors.
So we need two users, right?
Mm, First, at least take from one user only. That what should be the correct
Okay.
way of taking?
Then, sir, at first I will be means making a list which includes rock, paper, and scissors respectively. And then, sir,
Mhm,
after taking that, and I am going to take a random means I am going to take a value from the user, means a string from the user. So
mhm,
after I take the string from the user, I will be using the random function to generate
mhm.
one of the random options, either rock, paper, or scissors, and then I am going to use if else to prove this. If user 1 enters rock and computer enters scissors, then rock wins. If user 1 enters rock and the computer enters paper, then paper wins. And this way I'm going to print using if else.
Anyone else?
सर हम लोग को लेक्चर में सर बता रहे थे कि कोई भी रैंडम चूज कर सकते हैं
Can't hear, sir.
No, I am hearing. Yeah, he's saying that we can people can enter any random value, and so using that we can make. So how will you make it? Subal? That is the question. Anyone? Snehal, you can
So
try.
random dot random bracket 0 comma length 0 comma
Zero
length of that list. And then so we
random
are going to
dot
random dot
random
random bracket 0 comma length of the list minus 1.
length of the list. What is the length of the list here?
The length of the list will be 3, sir. Then it will be 2.
So, two. Okay. So random values from 0 to 2.
Yes, sir. And then, sir, I am going to print the array element, the list element, which is of that index number. That is
See,
rock, paper, scissors.
yes. What we have to assign is that we can do it the either way. Either we can ask the user for some numbers like 1, 2, and 3, and accordingly we assign rock, paper, or scissors. Okay. Or we can have the values 1, 2, and 3 as keys. Like in this case, 1, 2, or 3 will be the keys, and rock, paper, and scissors will be the values. Okay. So if someone enters 1, that will be considered rock. Like there are different ways. Okay. So what I have done here is that I am asking numbers from an input from a user and assigning each value. So you see, in this case, this if loop is gone, that if else loop is gone.
Yes.
Whatever the person enters, that automatically gets converted into an integer, and we are dividing it even by 3. Why we are dividing it by 3? If someone enters a very big number like 40, 50, someone is playing with our choices. So we are also smart and we do it that we divide it by 3 so that whatever the remainder is there, that we are checking as the key. So D and then the remainder will be the key, and that becomes our game choice, rock, paper, or scissors. So you see, in this case, we don't have to go for many loops. Like even if we go by if else logic, we can consider some this only. We can go for till some values only 1, 2, and 3. In this case, we are going till many infinite values, or in that case, we will have to do this remainder thing 3 times, or we will define another variable and do this. So there are different methods, but using dictionary, it becomes a bit easier. That is why it has been done like this. Okay. Any confusion in this or any ideas in this? Now you see, if I put, say, if I put 40, you see it is paper because 40 divided by 3 is how much? 1.
Yes, sir. One.
1. Because 39 is 0. So we are starting with 0. So 39 should be wrong. Okay. If I run this again, and suppose I am putting 1252, such big values will also be taken. Okay. Let's put something. Like you will say that every time I was putting paper only. Let's put 1253. It automatically takes 5 again paper. So you see different choices can be picked using this. Any confusion or suggestion in this, you can go for it. Since this was a code, like you had to make the code, you can come up with some different iteration that can be better than this, and you can suggest. Anyone?
No, sir. This code seems quite good.
Okay. You have not studied this week, so I cannot trust you. So anyone else?
Yes, sir. I said the answer based on the knowledge which I gained till last week, sir.
Yes. Anyone else? Let me ask that. Uh, Lavia Goyal, are you there? Okay. Or Greshma, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. So are you getting till here?
Sorry?
Are you understanding till here?
Yeah, but I don't have anything to say.
Okay. Like any suggestions if you have, like if you can come up with something better, or you can suggest some changes, everyone is here. Yeah. Okay. So let's move forward. Since we don't have any confusions, let's move forward. Yes. Mr. Kilam, you have some questions? Okay.
No, no, no. It's okay.
So, some noise is coming from your side.
Oh,
Okay. Now, this is something which is a bit important to us is that binary search. Uh, if you have understood
So
what
only in
is
sorted list, sir.
only
Only in
sorted
sorted
list.
list is available in ascending order or in the descending order. That means,
Okay.
sir, both option B and C, which is equal to
Okay.
option D. So option D, I will
Okay.
say.
Okay. And anyone else?
That is sorted. Should be sorted.
Sorted.
So
Okay.
option D.
So
B
let's
and
first yes, fine. So everyone is agreed on that. So let's first ask what is this binary search, because let's suppose I don't understand. Okay, so can anyone explain what is binary search?
Yes, sir. So binary search means, sir, actually we are having a list of integers or any other data type. So for example, we are having 20 numbers, and then we have to find out one of the elements from inside that. The user is entering one number and we have to check whether that number is present inside that list or not. So, sir, what we have to do is that at first we have to sort the list in either ascending or descending order so that we can get the lowest element at the first or last respectively and the highest element at the first or last respectively. And then, sir, we are just going to means use a loop to find out the element which is there present in the list or not, and that for that we have to actually break the loop into two loop now means we have to break the list into two parts, two equal parts based upon the middle element's position. So if there are around 15 elements, then sir we are going to divide it by 2, so the answer is going to be 7. So we are going to take a first element from 0 to 6 and the second element from 7 onwards. So like this, we are going to divide this array into two parts, and then we are going to check whether the element which is being searched by us is present in the lower in the first array or in the second list. Then, sir, if we find this element is present in the first list, then we are going to discard the second list and then start calculating from the first list. Again, the same process: find the middle element and then search and go on. So this is the process.
So yes, this is very correct. That what in binary search, what is it? And as the name suggests, binary. Bi means two. So we keep on continuously breaking our list in two parts.
Sir, in
Okay.
binary search,
So
every
in
every time to compare with the middle element.
Okay. Saroj, you were also saying something. Hello.
hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Sir, in the binary search,
Just a minute. I'm not
we
able
used
to
to
hear you.
compare with the middle element every time.
Yes, Saroj. If you are speaking, I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
I cannot hear anyone's voice. Just a minute.
Okay,
Let
yes,
me
sir.
just
Sir,
Yes.
listen. Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
saying
Now
that
I'm. Yes. Now I'm
every
audible.
time in the binary search, every
Yes.
time we are comparing with the middle element. Isn't
Yes.
right?
No, 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 no. We are not comparing with the middle element. We are actually finding out the middle element and checking whether it's present in the first half or the second half. So
Yes, yes.
if it is present,
Every
if it
time
is in
we
the middle
divide
element,
it
then we are
with
going to
the
break the loop.
So no,
Exactly.
it's not like that. You have to find the lower bound and upper bound of the array.
Yes.
Take the
This
middle
is
element,
this is
and if the
the
given
correct.
element,
Yes.
the element which we want to search for that, you have to check whether it is equal to middle or less than middle or greater than middle.
Yes. Very
So
correct.
uh,
So
it will
I
reduce the number of iterations when compared to
yes.
linear search.
Linear search. Yes. So what is being done is that let me explain. Like if we have uh, a sorted list, why it can work with a sorted list, we will see that also why it is necessary. So first, it is important to know whether the list is in ascending order or descending order. Okay, then the approach will be exactly the opposite. Okay, so let's suppose we have a ascending order list. Okay, like everything is arranged, and suppose we want to find eight. What will be the position of eight? Okay, so what we do is that we take the first and the last. How many elements we have? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. We have total seven elements. So seven elements. Half of it will be which element? Please speak. So if we take 3 this side, actually this 5 is the
Yeah,
half, half of it.
The
it
five.
Okay.
takes 3.
Yeah. Till here, it looks like we are comparing something with the middle.
Yes.
Okay. So we will compare 5 with 8. And we find that 8 is actually greater than 5. And since we have a ascending list, like ascending order list, we can
Yes.
clearly see. Since we are humans, we can see, but for computer, we have to instruct that actually, then it must be on the right hand side of you. So what it will do is that
Yes. So
it,
then,
yes, please.
so then one will increment the lower bound with 1.
No, it will not increment. Okay. What it will do is that now it will
Yes.
take the half of it, the upper half. Okay. Since we have known that now it is not, now we know that it is not in this part, right? For sure, it is on the upper bound. Now for this, the same thing will happen. Half of
Sir,
it. Yes.
So I
You
have a
have,
question, sir. Sir,
yes.
I think we will be doing array from sir 8 to 12, sir. From index position number
Yes.
4 to index number 6, sir. I think, sir.
Both ways are fine. And since we already know that it is greater, it is better to avoid 5. Yes. That is also
Yes,
fine.
sir. Yes, sir.
So that's why I'm telling that the we used to increment the lower bound with
Okay.
1.
Yeah, got it. No, like I was thinking that you were directly seeing that 8 is there, so you are going there.
No, sir.
No,
No, sir. No.
yeah, it is fine. Then you are correct. Okay. So now we
Okay.
go for the center of this, and that is 9. And now we see that actually 8 is less than 9, right? So we say that, okay, so this upper part is now not in our search area. And so we will have this area only left. And actually this is equal to 8. And we find the, then we just find the position of this and done. Okay. This is the binary search operation. You might be thinking why someone will do such a thing. Okay. Like seeing this, it looks very awkward. Why someone is going to do like this? But when you have a very big data, like maybe you have a data of a very big company like Google or something, where you have thousands and thousands of employees, and you want to search an employee fast. What you want is that you want to reduce the number of steps. If certainly this will have some disadvantage that if it was located at the beginning, it would have been easily found, like in the first or second step only. But what if it is located somewhere in the middle, somewhere at the end? It would have taken as uh, as the location will change, the complexity increases. So in binary search, that number of tries reduces. Here it has been done in 3 tries. Okay. Whereas the position of 8 is actually uh, 6. So if we go by the linear method, it will be in the sixth trial, like comparing with 2, comparing with 3, comparing with 4, comparing with 5, comparing with 8. Then we find that. But in this case, what is being done is that comparing with 5, comparing with 9, then comparing with 8. Only 3 comparisons are done. Okay. So slicing operation is a fast operation. Since why this is done is that to separate a data, to ignore a data, nothing has to be done. Our focus area just have to change. And that is a fast operation.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Sir, what will be the worst case complexity of this binary search?
Uh, that actually a lot have been tried for that. A lot of things like where actually it was like when it will be more efficient, when it will be the least efficient. Like there are papers on it. If you wish, you can find out. Mostly, like I'm not from mathematical background that much. Yeah. So certainly,
Sir,
there
we
are
know
complex.
the average case complexity is log n.
Yes. Yes.
Well, sir, as you were discussing about complexity, so we have actually not been exposed to this term previously. So can you please give us a brief introduction of what complexity is and if it
Complexity in the sense, what you can say is that how many
That
degrees
is,
of
we can also measure complexity in terms of space and time. Time complexity and memory space complexity. So depending on both, we can say that a particular algorithm is depending on that particular
different.
complexity.
So, like for different purposes, there are different complexities which become relevant. Like if you have, suppose you have limitation of space in the sense you are working with space constant or memory constraint devices. In that case, as Sir said, this space complexity is important. When you are working with uh, process constraint, or you can say where time is important. Certainly, in nowadays we have very fast devices. Earlier, we used to type Google and we used to sit and then Google will load and then we will search. And that was fine. But now we can stream videos, we can even stream live. We can have a video call. We are doing a video call with so many people at once, and yet we are having like we are not satisfied, right? So we need more and more at in less time, less complexity. Okay, so those are it. And Saroj, frankly speaking, I am not very much into this like complexity and
Yes,
mathematical
yes,
things.
no
So
problem.
Generally, we use Pigwo and Sigma.
yes, generally in mathematics, this is mostly covered, and
Sir, you can speak.
if yeah,
In terms of number of elements
yes,
taken in the array.
So then will you please add a small portion of this in the next lecture, sir? In the
okay.
next week's class?
If I find something, I will.
Yes, sir, just
Okay,
like sir, we studied strings today. So like that.
okay, okay.
Okay,
I will. I'll
okay.
spare some
I'll
time
be
to
there.
say complexity. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So any sorted list. Why? Because the same process, if it was reversed, like if we have a descending order list, in that case also this will work. But instead of dividing it, like instead of when it was greater, it going to the right, will to the left. Okay. Now comes this. What will be the output of the following? Okay. So it is just a function. Okay, a function is being defined, not the whole code actually. For uh, L, test L, so L is the input. For I in range, length of L
Sir, B, sir.
minus 1.
Option B, sir.
B, B, the largest element of the list. Okay,
Yes, sir. It's bubble, sir.
It is arranging in descending order. So you are asking about first element, zeroth element. So naturally, it is a bubble sort method where
yes,
the zeroth element is there.
Yes, so option B will be correct.
yes.
It's
So,
sorted in the descending order.
yes, so it is
So
sorted
this
in
is
the
bubble
descending
sort for
order.
descending orders.
Yes. So, bubble sort, everyone is clear about bubble sort?
But sir, I think
Yes,
sir,
sir.
it will throw an error. Right now, sir, I am detecting something. Sir, in bubble sort, we have to subtract that I
So
portion. But
length
sir, we
L
have not
minus 1
subtracted the I
minus
part.
I.
Sir,
Yeah,
it will be
yes.
throwing an error, sir.
Yeah, just let's have one by one. We can, yeah. Success is throws an error. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Because
Saroj,
the
you
minus I is not there.
where minus I is not there.
Sir, in the J portion, sir, in range bracket len of L minus 1, then sir, we have to, yes, sir, something like that only. I think I
Okay.
remember. Yes, sir.
Let's go to the next portion. Yes, Saroj, you were
No,
also
sir, it
saying that.
doesn't throw error, any error.
Okay.
The
It throws
minus
an error.
I just because we want to improve the performance.
Yes.
Like if we want to reduce the number of iterations, it does.
Yes. If we are going to reduce the number of iterations, we can go till minus I. But it is not necessary to be minus I. Okay. Saroj, you were also saying
Okay.
something?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please say.
Then
Okay.
sir, it will be only. Be only, sir.
Okay. So let's analyze. Instead of going for probabilities, let's analyze what is being done here. Okay. So what it does is that for I in range, length of L minus 1. So the whole length minus 1. We are not going to the last element. Okay. Is it something like that? In a list,
Yes,
if
sir.
so, we are going from
Yes.
zeroth element till this minus 1 element. We are going till minus 2 1. Not even minus 2. These two elements are left. Why? Because if we
Because
are putting
in every iteration, the largest element in the list will be pushed it to the last position, which is index minus 1.
yes, index minus 1. So that is why we are going to the like we are not going till the last element. Okay, we are going till here. Then we are running another loop for j in range length of L minus 1. So we are putting two loops. Okay, and both in the same range. If L of j is less than L of j plus 1. So we are taking care of this last one by here, increasing the index by 1 here. Then simply we are bubble sorting that if this one, this element is greater than the second element, what it is doing is that it is taking this element to another temp and then this element into to here and then this temp here. Okay, and this keeps on moving. And this is being done how many times? As many number
L
of
minus 1.
elements? Yes, L minus 1 times. So every time this keeps on going, keeps on going. And this is being done, whatever is the number of elements, that many times. This loop is run again and again. 1, 2, 3, like that many times. So with this method, L Lj will become the largest because if it is smaller, we are swapping. And that means B will pay the correct one. Let's see. Okay. What I am taking is that I am taking an I am just putting that function along with that I am putting some input also that 358169. Okay. I am taking this and running it. And you see, I am even printing the output. The output, what it is doing, and in fact, what we can do is that let's do it. Then we can understand better. Okay. Now, if I run this, now we see how the bubble sort works and how many, just to do this, how many times it is working. You see, first what it is doing in first iteration, it is swapping 3 and 5. 8169 they remain. Okay. Then in second iteration as second value, then it is swapping 3 and 8. Then third 3 1 will remain so because 3 is greater than 1. Then 6 and 1 are being swapped. Then 9 and 1 are being swapped. And this loop again starts. Starting from the first one. Again, now we have 5 has reached. Uh, after 5, 8 has reached. So they are being swapped. Like this is happening until we get, at last, we get it arranged in descending order 9, 8, 6, 5, 3, 1. And so the first element automatically becomes the largest element. Clear? Anyone who has not understood this?
So that means if we don't write that minus I portion, then also it will have no impact, sir.
Yes. And in fact,
I get it.
minus I, that thing is actually used just to improve
Sir,
the
it will
performance
be,
of this.
it has
Yes,
higher complexity than the bubble sort.
yes, yes. That because in that case we are not going till the last one. Okay, the number of steps can decrease, but the computations are a bit like it will have complexities. We will discuss complexities. Don't worry. Okay, we will cover that a bit.
Yes.
Not much in details. I'll cover that a small bit. Okay. Okay. So now let's come to a programming assignment. Okay. You are given a string S. Okay. Write a function to count letters which accept the string S and returns a dictionary containing letters, including the special characters. That means question mark, full stop, exclamation, in string S as keys and their count in string S as values. We have to count. In fact, you can say that we are counting the number occurrences. Okay. Like in the value, the joy of computing, T is occurring one time. So T has index 1. H is occurring one time. So H has, not index, sorry. H has value, T has value 1, H has value 1. E is occurring 1. It's, single space is occurring 3 times. Here, here, and here. Okay. Like that, I is occurring once. O is occurring, like here O, O, O is occurring 3 times. So O is 3. Y is 1. Okay. So then, how can we do this?
Sir, we have to create a for loop,
Okay.
and we want to first we have to initialize a variable to get that input, which is the joy of computing, a string,
Okay.
and we have
Input
to iterate
privated.
through that string, like taking each element from that
For
string.
CHN, yeah. CHN, let's say S equals to string, we are putting CHN string. Okay, then what we will do?
Then before that we have to, before this for loop, we have to initialize a dictionary.
Okay, let's say we are initializing a dictionary D equals to curly brackets. Okay,
Now,
then
now inside this for loop, we have to give this element in in a string as a dictionary key and assign a value 1.
okay,
If it is
that is how
yeah,
we will do.
yeah, if not in dictionary,
So
um
if not in dictionary, how we check that?
if ch not in,
Yes, not in. Do we write something like that?
um
Instead of that, I think the opposite of it will be easier, right? For if CH in D, can we write something like that? Then else will contain not. Is it fine? Adil, is it fine?
We can. I think we can also write not into.
Yeah, we can do that,
Sir,
but
can we not?
yeah, we can
Yeah.
do that.
If it is in the dictionary, then we have to increase the key value of that key, like
Yeah, so
D of
we write
ch
D of CH equals to D of
equals
CH
to D of ch plus 1.
plus 1. Good.
Else,
Else,
D of
yeah,
ch is equal to 1.
D of CH is equal to. So this should work. Anyone can try this, and if you are getting any issue, like facing any problem, feel free to ask. Okay. Anyone with some other idea?
Sir, take
Yes.
one variable like s equal to input of like this, and l equal to s dot split function is used. Then take another variable l1 equal to empty list. Take a empty list and iterate it for item in l. So
Yes.
before I split that, okay, sir. Then for item in L, then I give one condition. If item not in L1, that empty list,
Yes.
L1 dot append of item. So all the items are appending in L1 and print s dot count of item. If the t is entered in L1 is counted as 1. Another
Yes.
time that t will comes, it counted as 2. That's all.
Yes. Yes. This is a
Yeah, I
sort
think
of way.
that also work, but instead of
Yeah.
going through a loop and checking if it
Yeah.
is in a like a new
Then
list or not, we can use
yes.
a set function which will only takes a unique element from a
Unicorn or
splitted list.
yeah. What C is uh, doing that also works fine. Is that you put it with count, since we have count in the list, we have the count
Yeah, that
function in the
works.
list,
That
right?
works.
Yeah, that
I'm just
works.
saying
Yeah,
the
and set
intermediate
also.
clause. Yeah,
I think
yeah, yeah.
yeah, set has not yet been introduced. I think in the course, so that is why I was avoiding that. Yeah. So fine. Any other
Yeah.
issues with this? Yes, Adil, you are saying something.
Yes, sir. After I heard you said we cannot count a set. Is that right?
No, no,
I'm
I
sorry
didn't
if
say
I'm
that.
wrong.
No, no, I said that
Yeah,
set has
your voice
not
is
been.
not really
Okay,
audible,
okay,
so I heard it
okay, okay.
the wrong way.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, no. I said the set has not been yet covered in the course.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
That is why we are not going for that now. Set we can count certainly, but counting in a set will have no effect anyway. It occurs from the ones, right?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So programming. Let's go for this question. If you are given a list L, okay, write a function unique E. So this will be the name of our function, which will return a list of unique elements in the list L in sorted order. In sorted order, we have to sort it also. Okay, like we are entering something like this. Okay, and it should give 1, 5, 6, 7. Why? Because 1 is occurring only once, 5 is occurring only once, 7 is only occurring only once. But here, since it is in the same sequence, it is fine. But even if it was something like 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 2,
Yes, sir.
6, 5, 7,
We have to
still
print
the
the
output
distinct
should be there.
elements of the list.
Yes. So how can it be done?
So for this
Check each and
function,
every element. Check each and every element, and you also have a counter.
Okay.
sir, we have
Okay.
to
If the counter is
we can
greater than zero, so initially the counter has zero, and if it matches with the same element in a list, increment the
Yes.
counter. Then
Yes.
check if counter is equal to zero. That
Yeah.
is unique.
So one way is that using counters and
okay.
conditions, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Saroj, you
Yeah,
are also saying something.
yes, sir. For this, we firstly we can take a empty list,
Hmm.
then we take for loop. In the
Okay.
for loop, we write if character in list, then
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah. Say, please.
sir. We have to yes, sir. We have to take a for loop. Then we write if character in list. Then we write an if statement. If not in the L means empty list, then we append it in the empty list.
Anyone
More or less
with
similar to the first one only.
okay.
Yes, sir. First one concept is there.
Yes.
In the previous
Anyone with
concept, we can
any other
apply.
idea? Anyone with any other idea? Can it
Sir,
be
if
done
we
that we directly convert it into a dictionary that that have something like you say that directly converts it into a dictionary that will have the count of it as the value. Is it possible?
Sir, it will work.
How we can do that? Sadosh?
Sir, if we typecasting L in dict, will it work?
I am asking you.
I don't know.
Anyone
Yes,
who has some idea about this?
sir, we can do using another way
sir.
also.
If we type,
Yeah,
Let him say. I would request him to say first.
yeah. Please say.
Okay, sir. Then I'm saying, sir,
sir,
we
if
can
we
do
Yeah.
typecast,
Yes,
say.
yes, yes.
sir, if
Please.
we typecast this list in the dict form,
Yes,
then all the distinct element will be keys and values will be one.
yes. Directly.
Then we print the all keys.
Let's try this. Let's try this.
Yes,
Okay. Uh, let's do this. That we are putting. Let's say L equals to. I am not going for that function thing. Let's try this directly. L equals to.
yes,
Let's say a list of. Let's say something like red, so that it is a bit clearer. Okay. Red. Then I am putting blue. Simple one. Let's put blue again. Okay. And now we want this we want a dictionary that contains like red is the key and 2 should be the value, blue, the 2 as value, white as with 1 as value. Okay. So what Saroj is suggesting is that let's do something like that, that D equals to gift and then L. Is it right what you are saying, Saroj?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and let's print. Okay, okay, let's run. So see what happens.
There should be key and value.
Key and value, we cannot go there. So any other option? Anyone who have any idea?
Sir, what is the value error? I can understand this value.
Since this L, okay, what it is expecting is that it should have 2, key and value. Okay, so it is saying that I'm not getting a value like that, like the pair that we
Yes,
give
sir.
for a dictionary, that it is not getting. That is what it is.
For each element, there should be key and value.
Value, yes. If we had a tuple, like we see in the output of items, okay, if it we have a list of tuples, and if you would have given that, it would have accepted.
Can't
But
we
it is
convert this list into dictionary
directly, yeah. That is what I am asking.
directly?
Yeah, is there an
We-
option you have come across?
Yeah, we can convert it.
How,
Directly we can convert.
like, what is the way?
That is dictionary name equal to
Hmm.
list in for. You have to use the for loop.
Yes, we have to go by forward. Yes, that is fine. We go by
We have to
forward.
use for loop.
Yes, but I want something without a forward. Okay,
So
for this we have something a way that is not directly inside our general library. It is counters. Okay, from collections import counter. Okay, and then if we do something like this, it will actually be a dictionary only. Counters. Okay? It is counter only. Okay, C is capital. Yeah, here I have written counters. Then, now you see, this is something what we wanted. Is it correct? Saroj and Sakshil?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. So this is something, actually it is a dictionary. If you see inside the counter itself, it is a dictionary. And this itself have a lot of uses, counter. Okay. We can go by the way we have discussed for loop and this, or you can do something like this also, where you are assigning this to a counter. It automatically counts and keeps the value of its count in that. And then you can take out, uh, try to find it on the web. What is a counter function in collections library of Python? And there it has some very unique ways that it can in fact do this thing in a very less number of efforts. What has been done here? Okay, clear? Though the traditional method that we
Okay, sir.
have done in the
It is very
previous one,
interesting.
yeah, that will
Also, we
also work.
can also use list comprehension, sir, but
Yes,
it
list
is
comprehension.
just the same concept, a for loop
Yes,
and condition.
yes,
We can also rewrite that concept in a list comprehension
yes,
way.
yes.
Yeah.
Very correct. Yes. So let's come to our last programming assignment. You are given a list L. Write a program to print first prime number encountered in the list. Okay. One we are not
Sir,
considering as one.
running a
Yeah.
nested loop, sir.
Yes. We
Um,
Yes, sir.
can. Yes.
no, sir, we
Yes.
can just use a condition like if it is divisible by 1 and itself, then we can print the number and break the loop.
Yeah, that's included.
Yes.
Otherwise, system.exit at first we are going to write as non-prime and system.exit. Not system.exit. We are going to use the exit function. At first, we will import sys, and then in the else part, we are going to do this work using a nested loop.
Yes. And any other sorted method if you have something like that.
Yeah, I think it's sorted. So then we will use the sort function either, or if it is written in the program, then we will use
No. Why short?
the
What
addition.
is the need of sort? What if
Yes, so that's
this was a very big function and not continuous? These numbers were not continuous. It was 1, 10, 40, something like
Yeah,
that.
because the like if it is unsorted, then the like if the elements in the like if it is 7 presented next to 1, then
Yeah,
there can be 2 present in the last position of the list, right?
yeah.
So it will print the 7 because it can encounter the 7 first. So we have to sort this if we want to get a smallest prime
But
number in
it is not
list.
saying smallest. It is
Okay.
saying the first prime number you see in the list. It is not
Yeah, then
asking for
Sir, we have to
uh,
implement the whole prime number checking concept. Then if I
for
get one,
every
then
time.
we break it.
Yeah,
yeah, I have already mentioned that
yeah.
concept like
That
for
is
yeah.
simply fine, but that will not that have a very long way. Is it not a very long way of doing it?
Oh, okay.
What if
Tell me the
we
short
want a shorter
process.
way?
I couldn't understand your
No, I
question,
am
sir. Can
asking.
you?
Do you think like is there a shorter method to do that instead of going like this, like going for what you say, like checking the prime every time using it because we will be creating either we can go for a function of checking prime numbers. Uh, do you think there
Oh,
is
okay.
any other way we can do it?
Um, I think it is almost necessary to use if condition.
Yeah. Yes, and
Um,
that is why you see
recursion, sir.
even in math library, this prime finding a prime number
oh,
that is
okay, okay.
not there
Oh, okay.
because
Oh,
of
not
this
there.
complexity only. Yeah, so uh, we have to do this, and you see, every time you have to do the whole thing. For checking a number,
Okay.
we have to start from one and go till that number, or at
Yeah.
least half of that number. That is necessary.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
understand, sir.
understood, right? So,
Yeah.
like that complexity is always there. That is why it
Yes,
is
sir.
not even implemented in MATLAB.
Yes, sir. But like for this question, I think that
Yeah,
like cutting,
and
like dividing half of the list will not work
yes,
because if 2, 4, 6, 8, and 11 present in the last element, then we are only
yes.
going to the half of the list. But
No, I
the
am not
like,
talking about dividing it half of the list. I am talking about
okay.
like if you want to find that whether 7 is a prime number or not.
Oh, okay.
So you
Yeah,
have to
yeah, I
keep
could
dividing
understand,
it,
sir. Yeah,
yeah,
I
by
could understand.
1, 2, 3, 4
Yeah, yeah,
till
yeah.
4 you have to go,
I
right?
misunderstood. Yeah, I
Yeah,
misunderstood, sir. For
yeah,
this
not an issue.
question, it is not. It doesn't work. But
Yeah,
it is a very really effective method to
yeah.
cut into half if we
In
want to
case if we
find
had
within a
sorted,
range.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. If we had sorted list, yeah,
yeah. Thank you.
correct. Okay. So that's all for today. If you have any other questions, free to ask.
Sir, I don't understand this shorter method you say.
So for this last question,
Yes, sir, assignment 3.
yeah. So that is what I said. There is no sorted method. I
Okay,
didn't
sir,
get.
okay.
Yeah, I didn't get a shorter method. That's what I was asking. If any one of you have some idea, because I was not able to get a shorter method.
Sir, they understood the word shorted with short, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why they, I also misunderstood.
Sir,
yeah.
since we
But
were
I am
discussing
not
about
able to explain.
dictionaries for most of the day, sir, is this program possible using dictionaries? I don't know, sir. I'm just asking.
No, this is something without dictionary. This is something I have like. This is not very directly coming from.
Sir, sir,
Yes,
can we use each prime function?
each prime I have not encountered such keyword yet. I think we can create a function like that and we can use it.
It's I think built-in function is prime. Suppose
Is prime is there? I think I'm not sure. You can try.
prime
So
range,
that's a camel case, sir.
Hmm?
prime range is also there. And whenever you want to print up to n elements, in n elements prime numbers, that is also we can use. Directly prime we can't use. Is prime and
No,
prime.
I have not found that. If there is some, please feel free to inform me because I have not found. And this since it is a very big library, we cannot remember each and everything. But I was unable to find.
Well, sir, so there are
Sir, I
actually
have
many types of sorting in the syllabus. Sir, there are many types of sorting
Because
available. Sir, in our
uh,
syllabus, sir, how many types of sorting do we have to practice?
somewhere, because
No,
seen somewhere
yes.
that is rand prime is also there. Is prime is also there. Prime n is also there.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so I
I
will
keep
also check.
reading it and I found a lot of libraries, lot
Yeah.
of
Okay.
methods from a
Uh,
library
Generally,
to do with
I searched
prime.
in math like that is the standard library.
Okay.
So in that it is
It
not
is
there.
not there in
I, yeah, I think in some additional libraries like there it can be there. Yes,
Yeah,
it can.
SYMPY.
Yeah, so there it can be there in some additional
Yeah,
libraries.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. So I was generally like we have mostly covered standard libraries which are generally used, and in Python we have a lot of libraries. And in fact, when we go for this data processing and this thing, pandas, NumPy, and this, these are some
Yeah,
common
those are
libraries.
really popular
Yeah.
libraries, but there are
So
many
there,
libraries we cannot
yeah,
even like new
yeah, we
libraries.
cannot even remember. Yeah. And in fact, the thing is that you can also make and put it. It is open source,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's I also read somewhere like how to create a library
Uh,
and how to write a code for that and things.
yeah.
I read long ago, so I forgot about that. but I have read it, sir.
And it is somewhat very similar to creating a function. It is something
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
have one file with a lot of functions in it, and all the functions become the keyword for that library.
Yeah, we can save that file in the folder that we are running that
Yes,
main dot
running.
file.
Yeah, or you can put it in the, if you are putting it in the complete repository, then it becomes a library for everyone.
Yeah,
Sir, I think it is there in Simpy.
Simply. Yeah, so like in some library, it can be there, it is fine. And it must be using almost the same thing we are doing, like checking one by one. In the background, it is doing the same.
Well,
So
well, sir.
in that case, the code will be very easier.
Yes, very easier. But certainly you will have to import that library.
Yeah,
And if it can directly not be imported from the package, you will have to install the package.
yeah.
Well, sir, so actually we have got many types of sorting in our syllabus. Means there are many types of sorting. So which of the types do we have to study for the exam as of now?
Whatever is taught in the class, no more than that. But for your curiosity, you are free to do as many as you like.
That's obvious,
So I
sir.
have another question,
Yes, yes,
sir, which is little different from this lecture.
yes, yes, you can.
Sir, my question is that what is the logic behind the random function, rand int function, which generates the integer from to
Okay.
start within the.
Yeah. So,
There should be a logic. Otherwise, why computer generated random number?
okay. So there are two things you can do to understand this. First is, if you analyze what it is doing, is that in fact there are other functions also which are randomly generated, and these are sometimes needed for some unbiased like games and this thing. Okay. So if you see what it is doing, it is fine. But yes, certainly there will be some algorithm. Without an algorithm, it cannot work. Okay. So the best way to find out is just go into the library, like just go to the Python's repository.
Adding the run salad,
Yeah. Uh, in that, just find this uh, keyword, and you will, if you read that whole code, you will be able to take out that how it is being done. It must have some mathematical formula in it. You are very right.
Okay.
Try finding it if you are able to. Yes. If you are not able to understand, you can present it in the next class. We can discuss on it.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah. So that's all for today. I think we can close it. Okay. So thank you all. See you all in
Thank
the
you,
next
sir. It was
class.
a good class, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a
And
Thank you
good
very
class.
much.
if
And sir,
yeah,
complexity is our next class.
yes, Victor. Come.
Okay.
And next class will
And
not have this Tuesday. It will be the next Tuesday, not this Tuesday. For that,
that
we
means,
have
sir,
some.
Next,
7, then 14, sir, 14 March.
Yes, it will be on 14th March.
Okay, sir. 14 March class. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you,
So
sir.
thank you
It
all.
was a very nice time,
Yeah.
as usual.
Thank
sir,
you all.
these sessions are
Thank
useful for examination, final examination.
Yes, you can like check. These are available online, so you can.
Because I
If
think
you go.
till now we have received 7 weeks content,
Yes, yes,
7 weeks content, and some more weeks like 5 weeks we have to get.
yes, yes.
That's enough, or you have to prepare something more.
If you are generally doing this whole 12 weeks, I
Okay,
think you will be able to do it.
okay.
You will be able to do it.
Because till now we
Yeah.
don't know the pattern of the question paper.
Like
Is it multiple choice
It
questions or?
that actually I have also not attempted.
Okay, okay. But
Actually,
I have seen some old videos.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's why.
So like
actually, there is a
no,
done for NPTEL, the joy of
And one more
computing.
thing, I found that
yeah.
when we answering for these quiz questions and programming assignments, even
Hmm.
though in our view that logic is correct,
Yes, yes.
and answer is also correct, sometimes we are getting wrong. Why it is happening?
It is not wrong. It must be saying
Question
presentational
number
error.
6 of week 3, sir. Question number
If
6 of week 3, sir.
yeah, if there are
Runtime error versus
Like
0.
simple question, like type of the data, some question was there in some
yes, yes.
assignment. We have answered correct, but they have given wrong.
Okay, so you can post that in the discussion forum. I think some previous questions, if they were mistyped or something like that,
Hmm.
those have even been re-evaluated and corrected also.
Okay, okay.
So
Thank you.
you just post in the discussion forum, they will check for it. And if
Okay.
the question is right and your approach is wrong, then you have to try again.
And if there are
And
multiple answers, also they are not giving. Suppose three or four answers are there for
yes, yes.
some question. We
Yeah,
put all the three answers because it is not allowing. If it is only one answer correct, then it is not allowing to put the multiple answers.
in the programming assignments.
In assignment.
Okay. For that also, you can post on the discussion forum.
Sir, any
Discussion
suggestion
forum.
for time management between engineering pressure and Python pressure? Because this is
That
passion, sir. This one is
that
passion and that one is burden, sir.
that we will discuss some
Okay,
day
okay,
later.
okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you all. See you in the
Thank you.
next.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir. Good night.